was a gun.
Not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers.
Honestly say, I was about to have sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
I'm Roxanne Raithman. I'm doing my BA Honours in Psychology. First and only year, you only get one chance at it. I have ADD as well as sensory processing disorder.
First name, Avukile, surname Jeke. I'm a teacher by profession. I'm doing my last year in Masters. I'm living with blindness.
I'm Keisha Reikers, currently a second year LLB extended program student.
My name is Lungela Monki, also known as Lungi. I am originally from Utenek. I am currently staying at SSV. I'm studying BA MCC, that's for BA Media Communication and Culture, my final year.
My name is Azue Delabom. I am a student assistant in the Universal Accessibility and Disability Service Unit in Nelson Mandela University. So basically, I represent these guys.
Growing up, I didn't realize I had a disability. I was just different to other people. Often got the message that something was wrong with me, and then only had a diagnosis after my undergraduate degree, and then realized why I struggled so much in comparison to other students with organizing and sorting information and staying on track with things. And then also realized that along with the disability come other skills and other attributes like being creative, thinking outside the box. And so I embraced those things and accepted that as part of who I am. So there are limitations, but there are also strengths that come with the disability.
So in my introduction, I forgot to mention that I am partially blind and my disability is from birth. I only realized my disability, or should I say that I was different from other children when I was 5. First of all, I didn't go to school. I couldn't go to school back then. My peers were like attending preschool and I couldn't go to school. And also when I asked my mom, why am I not going to school? And then she said that because you are unable to see. Yes, you can see colors and you can sort of move around, but you cannot see when it comes to reading and the distance. So back then I couldn't understand because I was still a child. And then when I was 6, I started attending school with Kanyisa School for the Blind. And then that's when I accepted my disability, because it was a school with children that have the disability same as mine. So we navigate through things differently because we were taught how to use Braille, which is equivalent for using pen. It's a machine where you feel your writing, like it's not the writing that is the same as the normal writing. I cannot really describe Braille, but you feel it with your hands. So that's when I accepted my disability, that actually I'm not the only one. There are other children that have the same disability in mine, and they can navigate through margins of life.
I was born blind, so there was no way of not accepting my disability. It's not like I got this disability accidentally. I was born blind. Then I went to mainstream schools because it's not easy to find schools with disabilities, like School for the Blind. Yeah, there are 3 schools here in the Eastern Cape, but a guy like me from the deep rural areas of Montfrey, it wasn't easy for me to get the school in time. So the time I went to one of the best blind school here in the Eastern Cape, which is a Father School for the Blind, it was something like a great pleasure for me, because I was comfortable with my friends there, because they are like me. We are blind students there, we are partially blind. So it was not a big deal, because they are also blind. And by then I thought I'm the better person than them, because since I went to mainstream schools, because some of them, they grew up there from grade R up to grade 12. So I thought, no, I'm the better person than them. But yeah, I accepted my disability completely at a further school for the blind.
So I was diagnosed in December 2013. I was 11, turning 12 that December. I was diagnosed with transverse myelitis. It's an infection in my spinal cord. It was hard to accept being disabled at first, because I didn't know about disabilities or people with disabilities. The following year, I had to attend school. I went to a mainstream school, and it was really difficult because the school wasn't wheelchair friendly, and the educators weren't really helpful. In grade 8, I went to a school for disabled, and it's really there where I started to cope and accepting that I am disabled, when not only seeing other people that are physically disabled, but many other disabilities as well, many of which you can't even see. And I've spoken to many of them, and it's only then when I've started to accept that I'm disabled and it's not a death sentence. Actually, I have many great opportunities, things that I don't think I would have achieved if I was an able person, but yeah.
I cannot relate because I'm not disabled. I do not have a disabled family member, but my mother, like my whole life, has been working with people with special needs. So I think it became a thing for me. It's something that has always fascinated me, because growing up, because I'm always around her. I was always around her as a child. So in the NGOs that she was part of and all the organizations, I used to see disabled people as well. To me, it was the most normal thing, and I always had interest on things that they had to say, how they viewed inclusion, and how I personally could make their life better. So it's something that I've always been passionate about.
If I came to university, I studied in Tibet colleges. I always believed in myself, because I always knew that the distance between me and achieving my dreams was just my visual impairment. And then in my brain or in my mind, I remove my visual impairment and sort of trying to figure out what's the alternative. Had I have not have these eyes, what would I use to achieve my dream? So I still have my brains. So what I did, I went to the Tibet College, Port Elizabeth College to be exact, and then I wanted to enroll for human resource management there. And I explained to them that I'm partially blind. So they told me that, we don't accommodate, or we don't have any resources to accommodate people with visual impairment. How are you going to navigate through? And then I said to them, I don't know how, but can you please give me the chance? If I fail, and then I'll walk away with no questions asked. So I had to beg and beg and beg until they agreed, okay, fine, cool. I enrolled for N4. And then they didn't have any resources because they said so, and they didn't have them. So what I did was, I always make friends. I find it easy to make friends. Like, I don't know, I'm just an easy person. So I made friends during my college days. My fellow classmates would assist me in terms of the notes. They would write notes for me, and I would use my low vision, the low vision that I have right now. I'll take the book close to my eye. And it took forever for me to finish one chapter. But that's how I adjust. That's how I made it.
I was part of the first group of students to be accepted here at Nelson Mandela University. I think it was 2014. I was part of those blind students to be accepted here. Before, when I was doing my grade 12 in 2013, I didn't think of coming to university. Although I believe in myself. I didn't think of coming to university because I wanted to be a radio presenter before.
There are also the careers that inverted commas are expected to, like for instance, you cannot be a lawyer while you are blind. How are you going to see your clients? And also, you can only be a radio presenter because all you do is talk.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the burning issue that is still happening in our country or in the world or around the world, I would say.
I've always believed in myself, and I think to an extent where sometimes I even forget that I'm physically disabled. But I think that's a good thing because I've always, believed in myself that even if there's challenges or whatever, that I'm gonna overcome that and I'm gonna do what I want to do, like my goals in life and whatever. And especially, like I said with the intro part about educators, especially in my primary school, people that saw me walk before the wheelchair. I think most of them found it hard to accept me in the wheelchair again, but most of them were really motivative and pushing me, to believe in myself. Because I think at the time you get those times when you're like, I can't do this, I'm gonna give up, or this is enough. But there's always that one person or a thought at the back of your head that says, keep going, you're gonna get there, just believe in yourself and keep pushing through.
I like working closely with them. My main reasons are because I want the students to understand that the unit doesn't only stand to assist them when they have problems, right? But it is also there to empower them.
I think something that comes through strongly is having somebody that believes in you to start with.
True.
So whether it's your LO teacher, in my case, I didn't know I was disabled growing up, but my dad always believed in me. And there was nothing that was impossible. He never discouraged me, never said, no, you can't do that, or put any kind of limitations on me. So when it came to school, I did well in school. So, and I compensated for my disability by, getting extra skills or hiding things away, trying to make sure that I looked organized, even if I wasn't organized. I looked prepared, even if, my book was in complete shambles. I still showed up for the exam and I still performed. So nobody questioned whether I was disabled or not. I didn't question it. I just knew it was difficult. And then my journey is kind of in reverse. So I believed in myself. And as I got older and life got more challenging and more responsibilities were added, it became more and more difficult to cope. And that's when I got my diagnosis. So you add a job and you add a marriage and you add a child, and all of a sudden you're not coping with life and people are judging you for it. When you then discover, hey, actually my brain just works differently and I don't experience the world the same way other people do, and that's why I'm struggling. So I kind of went through a wobbly period where I got to a point where I was like, my word, I believed in myself so much, but now can I actually do this? I had this dream to become a psychologist. Can I still pursue this? How on earth am I going to do an honors and a master's degree with 2 small kids? Am I insane? I have a disability. Surely this is not possible. But you know what? Here I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing my honors. I'm doing well. I'm managing it all despite everything that everyone says. So I've had to fight through that doubt, and I've had to find people, new people, that believe in me and that support me.
I believe people should not be disabled in their souls. You have a disability, but please don't let your soul and spirit be disabled as well, especially when there is life after, there are disability units in universities, because we're not the only one. Of course, it's a new thing. Inclusion is still an idea. It's not really well and successfully implemented, but those are the things that we stand for. As a unit in universities, we stand for such things to make sure that it's not just an idea, but it is actually being implemented. It's implemented in colleges, it's implemented in the workplace, it's implemented in high schools even.